Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here, back again with another video. So, those four clips you just seen are some of the worst plays from Chase Daniel from the Week 1 preseason game against the Rams. Now, you see the title of this video, you see the thumbnail. This cut needs to happen. I understand that the Chargers brought him back because he is a guy who is looked at favorably in the locker room, at least in the quarterback room. But I don't think he has a place with the Chargers, especially as a backup quarterback. And I've said this many times, right? The smart thing to do in the NFL, you have a star quarterback. One of the smartest things you can do is have a backup quarterback that obviously is not as talented as your starting quarterback, but has some of the same traits and can do some of the same things that your starting quarterback can do, right? Push come to shove. That way you don't have to, completely rewrite your entire offense on the fly, in case your starting quarterback gets hurt. And obviously, Chase Daniel really doesn't do anything that Justin Herbert does. The only thing they really have in common is just that they play the same position at this point. Now, all of those plays weren't Chase Daniel's fault 100%. They all don't fall on Chase Daniel 100%. But when you look at rewatch some of those clips, his timing's off. His footwork is off. His release point and all of that stuff. Everything there is off. So that lets me know a guy in his 14th year, he doesn't have it anymore, right? And there's no shame in converting this guy over, right? If the Chargers really, really love Chase Daniel and they are really into him the way that, they say that they are, there's no shame in converting his contract over to a coaching contract, right? Cutting him from the roster, having him on the coaching staff, because apparently he does provide some value for the Chargers, right? And if he does provide value, I believe he can provide the most value in an off-field position, right? In a coaching position, right? Especially if he's a guy that's there to help Justin Herbert learn the offense, which to me sounds a little BS-ish right now, because Justin Herbert went out and set franchise records last season. So I don't think he needs anybody to teach him the offense at this point right now. Maybe he can run some things past him. Maybe he can help out. If Herbert does run into a problem or issue, or maybe he doesn't see something the way that he should, Chase Daniel could definitely help him out. But as a Charger fan, I am worried now that this whole operation here has a little bit too much nepotism to it. And I pointed this out in a video that I did before, the Joe Lombardi video that I did many months ago. The Charger operation has a little too much nepotism to it for my liking. Now, Joe Lombardi was a nepotism hire because Brandon Staley coached with Joe Lombardi early, very, very early in his career in New Orleans. And we know Joe Lombardi, he cut his teeth in New Orleans. That's where he spent most of his time under Sean Payton. So now he's the offensive coordinator of the Chargers now. But there's a little bit too much nepotism there. Joe Lombardi is connected to Chase Daniel because Chase Daniel spent some time in New Orleans under Sean Payton and Lombardi, and backing up Drew Brees. So there is like some nepotism that is going on there. And to me, there's always going to be a need for a guy in locker rooms, several guys, right, who are kind of glue guys, who kind of, keep the locker room, light, and are just great teammates, right? Guys can go to them for advice, whatever. And they're normally guys who are just consummate professionals, right? And Chase Daniel, I guess he falls under that. But the thing is, for him to be listed as the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart screams nepotism to me. They brought Chase Daniel back for, more money than they're paying Easton Stick this year. To me, that screams nepotism, because I think Chase Daniel should have gotten, whatever the minimum was for a player in his 13th, 14th year, because he's not the guy that the Chargers need, I believe, right now. And it screams nepotism. It screams Staley nepotism. It screams Joe Lombardi nepotism. And all of this stuff really is just not – it's not good. And this is the type of stuff that internally, really affect the locker room, because guys can start questioning. They have the same plays that, I put in the beginning of this video. Those are the same plays that all of the players are watching in film session. They see what Chase Daniel's doing. They see that he's not able to complete, very simple passes to Josh Palmer, right? A guy who pretty much catches anything and has a crazy catch radius. He's off target. Like I said, his footwork is not there. Just overall quarterback mechanics are not there. This is the type of stuff that starts to, seep into the locker room. And guys who are not performing, have guaranteed spots on this team. That is not good. And this is what I was worried about with the Joe Lombardi thing. And, I think Brandon Staley has to get it together. He has to send a message because this cannot continue to go on. And, you cannot expect a team like this, a team as talented as the Chargers, right, to have these guys on the roster who really don't provide any value outside of, maybe shaking hands in the locker room after a game. Like, you have to have guys. There are only 53 roster spots, only 53. And you can only dress, 47 on game day. You can only have 47 guys in uniform on game day. Offense, defense, special teams. All three of those are 11 guys each, right? And then you got 14 guys left over to mix and match and go in the game when injuries happen. So there is so many. The rosters are so consolidated in the NFL. You need as much talent on your roster as you can possibly get. And you need as much talent dressing on Sundays, one of the 47 guys. You need as many talented guys as you can get. So, to me, the Chargers need to do this, and they need to correct this, and they need to get it right. Because, if you have guys just in the locker room just making a bunch of money for nothing, it does not send a great message, especially if Easton Stick is a guy, if he is offered a good contract, a good amount of money this offseason, he's going to leave, and he's probably going to go somewhere else, and he might have an opportunity to start. So you have to look at this from a very, macro standpoint. If you're the Chargers, if you're Tom Telesco, if you're Brandon Staley, you got to get the best guys in this season, especially coming off of this terrible preseason performance. There are a lot of guys who I don't know if they feel entitled that they might have roster spots in the locker room or whatever, but you have to send a message that you are only going to put the best guys on this roster. And having Chase Daniel on this roster sends the wrong message because he is not one of the best guys. He's not one of the best 53. He's a guy who is, he's gotten close to Justin Herbert, right? He's a guy who has, as much money as he's made in the NFL, he has developed the relationships everywhere that he's went, right? He's played his hand smartly because guys like him are normally not in the league after, maybe 4 to 5 years or whatever. He's not super athletic, doesn't have the best arm. Obviously, his mechanics are not great, and he's a guy, he was never a super, talented quarterback, but his skills have completely diminished. And now we are seeing the worst of him now. And if this guy makes the roster, making $1.2 million or whatever, right? It's not a whole lot of money, but it's still good money for a guy who is not going to, if push comes to shove, if he needs to be in the game, he's a guy that's probably not going to win you some games. He's a guy that's probably going to have trouble moving the ball. You're going to have to completely scrap everything and start off from scratch as far as offense goes. So for a guy to be getting that money, right, and for Easton Stick to be still in his rookie contract, hasn't got extended yet, it just sends a bad message, and it's kind of it's kind of one of those things where guys will leave this team, if they feel that type of stuff is going on. If you're favored in any type of way, if you're, there's favoritism shown towards you and you're not performing, especially in these, preseason games where guys have to perform in order to keep their roster spot, it sends a bad message. So I'm kind of worried about that a little bit right now, to be honest. Like I said, Brandon Staley, Tom Telesco, they got to send a message. They gotta send a message. They gotta weed the guys out who don't belong on this roster, and then just go from there. But until that happens, I don't know. I'm gonna hope for the best, but we'll see what happens going forward. I just wanted to come on here and just make this quick video. I seen Chase Daniel. I seen him in week 1. I seen him in week 2. I've seen enough of him now to know that he's not good. On the field, he is not good. In the locker room, he might be the best guy in the locker room. Best locker room guy, funniest guy, whatever. But on the field, he don't have it. So if you're a Charger fan, look out for that. Look out for a cut. Look out for a Chase Daniel cut. Hopefully, I hope it happens. But we'll see going forward. 1 preseason game left. Hopefully they get in a good week of practice this week. Without any injuries and stuff like that. One game to get through, and then we're on to the regular season. So things are coming very quickly now, and we're going to get into this regular season here very soon. Week 1 against the Raiders, and can't wait. But that's all I got for this video, guys. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out as well too. I'll be back again tomorrow with more content. I think I'll be getting into the NFL ratings. Justin Herbert, number 40, way too low. I thought that was very surprising, but I'll touch on that tomorrow. But that's all I got for this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for all your support, all the likes, comments, views, all the engagement. Really appreciate it. And until next time.